Hi everyone, I'm Brian, Senior Product Manager here at Helix Intel, and today we're going to walk through our latest release, Location Reservations. Reservations, in their simplest terms, give your team the ability to book or reserve locations within your account. To start, let's navigate to the Reservations page. This page provides you with an overview of all of the upcoming reservations within your account, as well as any pending requests. As you can see, there are two main views. We have the calendar view, which shows you the month, and then we have the table view, which shows you rows and columns for each reservation with a few key data points. You can see the name of the reservation, where it's located, the start date and time, end date and time, how long the reservation or event lasts for, and then who reserved it. At the top, you'll see a search bar, so you can enter any query to quickly find the reservation you're looking for. You can filter by a variety of criteria, or you can easily filter it down to see who reserved each of the locations. Next, I'll walk you through the request page, and this is where you'll go to submit a new reservation request. As you can see, there's already one in here that I created before for a pancake fundraiser, but let's create a new one. The process is very similar to creating a work request and creating other records within your account. You look for the big blue new button, click that, and you'll be redirected to a form where you input key information. There are only a few fields that are required for submitting a request right now, and that's the title, the description, and then any occurrences, which I'll get into momentarily. So let's come up with a new reservation for something we want to create in our account. I'll use the example of a school basketball game. We'll provide a description. And now I'll add an occurrence. Think of an occurrence as the finer details about the event itself, like the start date and start time, end date and end time, where it's located, and how often it occurs. In this case, because it's a single basketball game, I'll click Add Occurrence, find the date on the calendar, let's say Friday, April 11th, and I'll choose the location. So I want this to be at Roosevelt High Gymnasium, and then I'll pick the start time and end time. So we'll say 6:30 and 8:15. You'll see at the bottom there is a recurrence field that allows you to indicate whether or not this event repeats. In this case, because it's a single basketball game, it does not, but there are other workflows where you may want to have something recurring, such as a basketball practice, for example, a school open house that happens monthly, or perhaps there is a community forum that happens within your region on a bi-weekly basis. So if you were to go that route, you would click recurring and then set the cadence of the schedule, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. For example, weekly on Tuesdays, and then you can choose at the bottom when you want this to end its recurrence. But for the sake of this basketball game, I'll go back to the top and click Does Not Repeat. So I'll click Add, and as you can see, it's been added to the calendar here. Now, if you want to add another reservation to this request, you can do that as well. So let's say we have another game against Franklin High on the 25th at home. You could come in and you could do the same process here of choosing Roosevelt High Gymnasium, picking the start time. We'll say this one's at 6. And the end time of this one's at 7:30, and again, does not repeat. So I'll click Add, and you can see that both of these are in my calendar. I'll scroll down to the bottom, hit Save, and you can see that they have been added to my request. There are two tabs here, one that says Unavailable and one that says Available. Available means that those are open and that there's nothing else on the calendar that could possibly conflict with it at the moment. On the other hand, we have Unavailable. And this indicates if there are any other reservations going on at that time that would conflict and make it impossible to host this event at this location and time. In that case, I could go back, I could edit the request and change its details to make sure that they are both available. As you scroll down the page, you'll see that there is the opportunity to set a reminder. So how many days before each occurrence that you've added would you like to receive a reminder notification about the event? In this case, I'll say I just want 1 day in advance. And then down here below in our attachment section, you can add any relevant files such as certificates of insurance or any imagery or anything else that you'd want to add to the request for the person who's reviewing it to see. In this case, I'll just hit submit and I'll be notified with a banner up top saying that my request was successfully submitted, and I can click here to see it. So this brings me into the reservation request modal. And this provides, again, an overview of all the information that I've inputted into my requests. I can see that it was requested by me. I can see the name of the event, any details that I included, the dates and locations of all the occurrences, and then any of the attachments down here below. Off to the right, just like in our task modal, we have a running history section that shows all the things that were done within the request, and it gives me the opportunity to comment back and forth. So let's say I wanted to tag my colleague Luna and ask her a question about the event, such as, can you confirm the start time with Franklin High when you get a chance? I'll click Add Comment, and Luna will be notified accordingly. In this table, we're going to look at this from the perspective of a manager who has the ability to review a request. So the manager will have the ability to check availability, so that way they can see if these occurrences are still available at the time that they approve it, and that nothing else had been added to the calendar in between this request submission and when this one was reviewed. So I click here, I can see that they're both available, and then I have the opportunity to either approve or deny these occurrences. Up top, you'll see two options when there are multiple occurrences added to a request. You'll see Deny All and Confirm. Deny All would deny both of the occurrences in this case. I would select a reason, such as maintenance scheduled at that time, and provide additional details here. Or I can go back and confirm my review. In this case, I want to approve both of these, so I'll click Confirm, and I can see that this has officially approved the reservation request. So if I go back to the reservations page, I'll be able to see on April 11th that we now have the boys varsity basketball game. I can open it up and I see again the same modal. Where a lot of value comes from having this functionality in our platform is our integration with work order management. So as you come down here at the bottom, you'll see in our work item section, you're able to relate any work within your account to the specific reservation. For example, for a boys basketball game, maybe you need to pull out the bleachers, you need to dust mop the floors, you need to test the scoreboard, set the air conditioning at a certain temperature. Those are all things that you can log in here as things that need to get done before the game. And then you can also do things for after the game as well. So in this case, I'll do add work item, and we'll just say dust mop the floors, and then we'll give it a description. We can set the category for it. I'll just pick flooring, and then I'll just do preventive as the maintenance type. I can assign it to a colleague to complete. In this case, I'll assign it to my colleague Rob. I'll set the priority of high, and then I'll set the due date of the 11th, as that's when the game is taking place. If I want, I can add any attachments that are necessary, and of course I can add checklist items if there are specific steps I want Rob to take, but I think that this one is straightforward enough where he'll know what to do. So as I close out, you'll see that dust mop the floor has been added, and we can see it's been assigned to Rob with the due date of the 11th, and the status is ready. If I want to add more, I can come in, I can click the add button and go through the same workflow. If I want to add an existing work item to the reservation, I can easily do that by navigating to the work manager and linking the two together. So on the work manager page, we'll search for the task I had in mind, which was to pull out the bleachers. As you can see here, pull out the bleachers. It's been assigned to Rob with a priority of normal and the due date of the 11th. I'll navigate down to the related to section, click add, and then choose reservations from the menu that opens. I'll find the basketball game by searching it here. And then we have on April 11th, boys varsity basketball game. I'll click add reservation, and you can see that it's been related to here. Now, there are times where a reservation may not need to occur anymore. In this case, let's say that there's a storm approaching and we need to cancel this game. I can navigate back to the reservations page, and I can find it in my list of reservations. Click on it, and then in the upper right hand corner, you'll see an ellipsis menu with the option to cancel it inside. I'll come in, I will say that there's an unexpected closure, snowstorm approaching, need to cancel. I'll click yes, and now the original requester has been notified of the canceled reservation. Communication is a key component of everything as it relates to our platform, including reservations. Every step of the way, the original requester to the person who reviewed it and anybody else who engages with it is kept up to date with its progress and set reminders of its start date, start time, and any changes that were made. If you would like to choose your notification preferences for reservations, you can easily do that by navigating up to the top right menu, heading over to notification settings, clicking on the reservations tab, and toggling on and off what you want to receive notifications for. That will wrap up the overview of location reservations on the Helix Intel platform. We're excited for you to try it, and if you have any comments, questions, or feedback, please make sure you reach out as we are more than happy to help. Thank you.